सहनावतु सहनौ पुनस्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Together we'll chant Bhagavad Gita, chapter 13, verses 11 to 20.
मयि चानन्ययोगेन भक्तिरव्यभिचारिणी विविक्तदेशसेवित्वम् अरतिर्जनसंसदि अध्यात्मज्ञाननित्यत्वम् तत्त्वज्ञानार्थदर्शनम् एतज्ज्ञानमिति प्रोक्तम् अज्ञानम् यदतोऽन्यथा ज्ञेयम् यत्तत् प्रवक्ष्यामि यज्ञात्वामृतमश्नुते अनादिमत्परम् ब्रह्म न सत्तन्नासदुच्यते सर्वतः पाणिपादं तत् सर्वतोक्षिशिरोमुखम् सर्वतः श्रुतिमल्लोके सर्वमावृत्य तिष्ठति सर्वेन्द्रियगुणाभासम् सर्वेन्द्रियविवर्जितम् असक्तं सर्वभृच्चैव निर्गुणं गुणभोक्तृ च बहिरन्तश्च भूतानाम् अचरं चरमेव च सूक्ष्मत्वात् तदविज्ञेयम् दूरस्थं चान्तिके च तत् अविभक्तं च भूतेषु विभक्तमिव च स्थितम् भूतभर्तृ च तज्ज्ञेयम् ग्रसिष्णुप्रभविष्णु च ज्योतिषामपि तज्ज्योतिः तमसः परमुच्यते ज्ञानं ज्ञेयं ज्ञानगम्यं हृदि सर्वस्य विष्ठितम् इति क्षेत्रं तथा ज्ञानं ज्ञेयं चोक्तं समासतः मद्भक्त एतद्विज्ञाय मद्भावायोपपद्यते प्रकृतिं पुरुषं चैव विध्यनादि उभावपि विकारांश्च गुणांश्चैव विद्धि प्रकृतिसम्भवान्
Last time we were doing the 11th verse. Mai chananya yogena bhakte avyabhicharini. Ananya yoga, no other yoga, no other thought. It is critical in life that what our intentions are should be clear to us. And if it is clear to us, then we must not forget it. This is really critical. The reason we do not achieve success in what we do is because our own intentions are not clear to us. Intentions, I don't mean good and bad like that. But what exactly are you trying to do? So when you come to a class such as this, there are only two things you can try to do. Ideally, at least. Either you're trying self-realization or you're trying self-development. These are the only two things that this class gives scope for. But it has to be clear to each individual what I'm doing it for. And having been clear on that, do not ever forget it. That's what he's saying. Do not ever forget it. What is the real intention? When you come to this class, what is the intention? You know, some people tell me, it's quite cute actually. I find it all quite innocent. People say, you know, aajkal wo maja nahi raha. Nowadays, I don't feel so inspired with the class. I understand. Obviously, those things do happen. After a few years of listening, you will not be able to have the same sort of inspiration that you had earlier. However, how can you possibly forget what you're trying to do? This is not about how you feel. This is about what are you trying to achieve. I know so many people. It's the most incredible thing. I mean, we don't learn from each other's experience. So that's why we have to take our own. When you learn from another's experience, you're not forced to take your own. How many people have attended class so regularly, forgotten about it for years and years and years, and come back to me after that time with some kind of problem, some kind of whatever, something is bothering them. Now, why did they leave and why did they come back? They left because they think everything is fine now. All my life is going good, and who's going to listen to the same thing over and over again? They leave like that. And why do they come back? Because suddenly life is not good again. Why should we do it like that? दुख में सुमिरन सब करे, सुख में करे न कोई. जो सुख में सुमिरन करे, दुख काहे को होए. If we just keep on with the regular practices which we are supposed to do, karma, bhakti, jnana, We do it every single day as if we are brushing our teeth, having a bath, all these things that we routinely do every day. At least I hope we do every day. Those things, at least, have to be done. Your karma, bhakti, jnana has to be done every day, whether you enjoy it or not. Do you enjoy brushing your teeth? Do you enjoy a bath every day? Do you enjoy getting dressed every day? But you do it, right? But when it comes to your spiritual sadhana, you forget about it every now and then. Everyone, they take off a little, come back. I mean, it's a question of time, how long they stay away and how long it takes to come back is just a question of time. Why do all this? If you've taken it up, take it. If you've not taken it up, give it up. Do one of these two things. But these kind were not even clear what they wanted to achieve, perhaps to begin with. Yes, I mean, not these kind. Everybody is not clear. How do we know everybody is not clear? Everybody will take off. Very few people, like Mahesh, is there 20 years. I don't know how many years he's there. I don't know when he will take off. But everybody takes off. Everybody will, I mean, not everybody, many people come back. Many people go do something else. Too much confusion. It's nothing wrong with doing something else, nothing wrong with stopping, but you must know what you started it for and whether you have achieved that or you have decided that I'm not going to achieve by this method. That is also okay. So he says, what is the quality of a jnani? A jnani is very clear what they're doing, why they are doing, how they are doing. Jnani is clear about this. Mai chananya yogena bhakti avyabhicharini. You have never lost your devotion, your love, your concern towards your goal. That just never was. You have not forgotten the Lord, no matter what happens. You are the best of times, the worst of times. Don't forget it. Boring times, enjoyable times. Don't forget it. Sarthak. Should we draw a difference between secular activities and spiritual activities? Sarthak, it all depends upon your definitions of these terms. What do you mean? As far as Vedanta is concerned, there is no such division. There is no spiritual activity and secular activity.
मैम बट अभी तो आपने डिवाइड किया ना, कर्म भक्ति ज्ञान ब्रशिंग एंड कुकिंग, तो आप ही ने डिवाइड किया अपनी लैंग्वेज में.
No, what I was dividing it in the sense of what you're habituated to, what you're doing on a daily basis, and what you feel is optional. That was
आई
my. You feel, yeah, this I can do some days, not do some days. You don't think that about brushing your teeth. Okay?
ओके.
So, unswerving devotion to me by steadfast yoga. I hope you realize what all is involved in this. You're clear about what you're doing, why you're doing. You're clear about what you're doing. The unswerving devotion. Unswerving devotion means your mind never goes away from what it is you are trying to achieve. By steadfast yoga, yoga means the actions that you're doing to reach wherever you wish to go. And steadfast yoga means those actions are being done consistently. So you can make a list for yourself. What, according to me, is desirable? Make a list of all the desirable things. Then, next to that list, you put what are the actions I need to reach that desirable thing. And then, of course, if you want to be really precise about it, you make a third column giving the timelines for it. Then you mean business, not just how nice all this is. So nice I feel with class. Forget it. You feel nice. You don't feel nice is all irrelevant. No achiever thinks in terms of how he's feeling about it. Only non-achievers think about how they are feeling about it. Do you think these guys who are like Olympic champions or I don't know, some fantastic achievement they've gone and done? There was there was this movie, I can't remember anything about the movie, but in that movie, he's asking, he's saying, talking about what he's doing. So he says, I do push ups or something. I'm sorry, all the irrelevant details have gone from my mind. So he was doing push ups or he was doing something. Okay, let's say he was doing push ups. He's doing push ups, he's doing push ups, he's done like thousands of push ups. And he says, I ask myself, will my opponent still be doing it? And if I say if I think yes, he will still have practiced more, then I will continue doing it. And then after a lot of time, I'm doing it, and I ask myself again after like maybe 3,000 push-ups. And then will my opponent be doing so much? And then I know that my opponent, no way they're going to reach this. And when I realize that my opponent is not going to be doing this, I do some more. I keep on doing. Do you think he enjoys it? You know how boring it must be to do push-ups? Can you imagine doing 3,000 or some stupid number like that? Horrible thing, no? Dude, does he think, am I enjoying push-ups? I don't think like that. But we think, am I enjoying class? Am I enjoying my morning studies? Am I enjoying my bhajans? Am I enjoying my karma? You're not going to be an achiever. Like to be an achiever, whether you like it or not, whether it's inspiring or not, you just do it. My father used to tell me this. You see, in my life, I used to think the life of an author is very good. Nice life they are. So, my father used to say this to me when I was very, very young. I remember him saying this to me that Somerset Maugham, he was one of our favorite authors. He would tell me Somerset Maugham would be at his desk every single day at 5 a.m., regardless of whether he had any inspiration to write or not. He just did it day after day. And that is how he has such beautiful literature that when you read it, you don't have to put in any effort. The more effort that we put in when you write something, the less effort the reader has to put when they read it. Why do you think so many letters are incomprehensible? So many WhatsApp messages are incomprehensible? Because the person who wrote them has not put in time at all. The more effort you put in the writing of something, the less effort the reader will put in the reading of that thing. But every single day, come hail or high water, he was at his desk 5 o'clock in the morning. That's why he's written the kind of literature he has written. So any kind of achievement happens only if you fix what you want. You care about that thing so much that you do not anymore care about your own feelings with reference to those things. You know you know the actions that you need to take, and you do them consistently. So mai cha ananya yogena bhakti avya vicharini. Avya vicharini, just not moving. Your only question, any time any sort of decision or option is given to you, your only question is, how does this help me reach the goal? Should I start this business or that business? Your question is, how does it help me reach my goal? Should I marry this person or that person? How does this help me reach the goal? You just don't move from that. It's like a compass that for everything you will only refer to that. Can you imagine that you have a captain of your ship who is not bothered about the compass. Will you go on his ship? You are trying to go to Istanbul, he will take you to South America. But he is not bothered about the compass. So, never ever forget what is the goal. Care about that so much that you cannot anymore care about what your feelings are. I like it, I don't like it, and all that nonsense. Do the yoga required, means do all the actions required and do it steadfastly, consistently. So many questions you all have. Okay, Bharat? Yeah.
Yeah, just trying to better understand how the inspiration evaporates because spiritual pursuit, if done right, will regulate all of the life's activities, right? Which should enhance inspiration, in fact. So, how does it evaporate?
Your question has the answer.
It has to be done right.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Deep Raj, is he talking about the quality of Shraddha? All these qualities do sort of merge with one another, but here he's talking. What he's saying is Ananya Yoga. Ananya Yoga is the most important aspect of this. Ananya Yoga means no other thought. You can have Shraddha towards towards being a good musician. You can have Shraddha also towards I don't know, anything else you're interested in, being a painter as well, whatever. You can have Shraddha over multiple things. Here his point is one thought, means one intention, one goal for your life. So of course it contains Shraddha, no doubt about that. But the what shall I say, the crux of this is Ananya Yoga. He says this throughout the text. You will read many times. Just no other thought. One thing you have decided to do, and you will do it. And that one thing is self-realization. Or if that's too much, self-development. Another way for bhaktas is to never forget the thought of the self, thought of God, sorry, their Ishtadev. To keep focused on the Lord of their heart, whatever happens. So whatever comes to them, they take it as prasad of the Lord. Whatever decision they have to make, like shall I say this to this person or that to that person, they will use God as their witness in saying that. So no other thought. It's always there. So it is Shraddha, but towards that one ultimate reality. Not, I mean, he's not talking about anything. See, my means to me. Shraddha, Ananya thought about me. Ananya thought about the self. No other thought but the self.
But is this practical? Um, it's
Practical is now that's up to you. That is what he says, and Jnani doesn't.
yeah, yeah. It sounds like more of a outcome of spiritual growth. It is your thoughts converge because it's getting fewer and fewer,
Yeah,
rather than something that is part of your sadhana.
it is both. All of these are both. See, like love is what you grow into. Love is also something that you I can't use the word practice, but you apply yourself. Like if you have negative thoughts, you can't say, okay, it's fine, I'm thinking negative thoughts, right? You may not be able to love, but at least you have to resist the temptation to think negatively about people. So all of it is both sadhana and growth. So when you grow, you automatically have it. To grow, you do a little bit of it. A little bit means a practicing bit of it. So now, if you say, no, I can't think of God all the time, or I can't think of self realization all the time, therefore, there's an automatic relative goal, which is self development. So now, whatever I do, I think of self development. And in your mind, you must know what you mean by self development.
Okay, thank you.
Komal?
Yes, ma'am. Is this what we are talking applies to self-development and self-realization pursuits only, or it applies to everything in life, whatever we are doing?
The principle will stay the same,
Hmm.
but he is talking here about self-realization, or if we make it relative, self-development. This is my, in me.
Hmm.
But the principle stays the same. Anybody who wants to achieve anything in any field will have to do this.
Yeah. What came to the mind is like some people, those who are in material pursuits or just partying, drinking, that then all thought should be towards that only. That will make them.
That's cute. No, that towards your goal.
If
Material
their goal
pursuit.
is to enjoy life and their way is to enjoy like this, so everything, every thought should be in that direction only. So they will fall from there.
Yeah, you will get the consequences, but you will get the consequences both ways. But if you want to achieve, this is only if you want to achieve. If you want to party, then it's irrelevant to the context. This is to achieve anything. So if you want to achieve that, I want to have a company with a turnover of 2,000 crores, or
Hmm.
I want to achieve becoming Miss Universe or win Wimbledon, whatever it. You have to achieve, you have to want to achieve something. No? Then only the principle of achievement becomes applicable. If you're just partying, then you want to achieve, I don't know what, you want to achieve fame in giving parties. I don't know what you achieve. But if you are, okay, you become like in olden times, there used to be these, I don't know, are there any soybeans and all nowadays where people have these at homes, and, some hostesses are very well known for throwing these wonderful parties. So if that's what you're trying to achieve, then you will have to do it. But if, as long as you're trying to achieve something, then the principle becomes applicable. If you're just fooling around in life, then not applicable.
Right. What my means, if it is given to somebody who is not in spiritual growth and this point, then he'll go astray, like some wrong direction achievement
Of course.
go into. Then intellect comes in, where I need to, from
No.
there to he should move from his thoughts.
Mm.
Otherwise, he will
You
get spoiled.
cannot.
It's like thing.
Arey Baba, everybody will get spoiled. Even we will get spoiled if we do not understand what this line means.
Yes.
You can't take out one line and suddenly apply it to anything.
Yeah.
You can't say, oh, this antibiotic is very good. So somebody broke a leg, you gave him antibiotics. I mean, how can you do that?
Mm. Yes, it's clear.
A mind and Captain Pratap Mehta. Okay, yes.
Hari Om.
Hari
Uh,
Om.
in the beginning, you mentioned about enjoying or feeling good about a particular project or event. You had mentioned two words: self-realization and self-improvement. Whether we are doing it for self-realization or for self-improvement. Uh, can you please explain the difference in between them?
Self-realization or self-development. So self-realization means achieving moksha, achieving enlightenment, whatever terminology you want to use. What it's referring to is the goal of human existence, where you merge with the self or merge with God. You find your original nature. Now, every one of us is not capable of being inspired by that straight away. So therefore, we make it more relative. We say, okay, you can't handle a self, you're not inspired by that, then at least think of self development. That means to become more unselfish, more loving, whatever it means in your mind. So these are the two things we can aim for when we are studying the Gita. I mean, we can also aim for material success because it will give you all the principles, but that's not what it's meant for.
Right. So the material success will also fall under the subcategory of self-development, I guess.
No, it doesn't fall there. It is just a byproduct.
Byproduct of that. Right. And being in this Grast ashram, the self realization may not actually be the right thing to think about.
Why is that?
No. Okay.
I mean, think about it. King Janaka was very much in Grahastha ashram, very much more deeply than any one of us. Swamiji himself is a Grahastha. I mean, this division between sannyas and Grahastha has been taken a little too far. Too far
Right.
in the sense that we are using it in the wrong context. Sannyasis are those people take up to the part of, when I say sannyas, now I'm using it in the sense of ochre robes. There are different types of people in this world. There are some type of people who prefer solitude, are more introverted, do not want to get married and have children. This is not part of their desires at all. Okay, so they are given a certain path that you wear ochre robes so that other people don't bother you. See, if you don't want to get married and you wear ochre robes, nobody will keep asking you when are you getting married. Okay, nobody will ask you how much money are you making, because they actually don't want any of that, so they take up to ochre robes. The rest of us, the vast majority, are what we call grihasthas. We have homes, we
Yeah.
have families, we have all this, and we would like to have them. It's not like anybody has forced any of this on us. So for them, is grihastha ashram. I'm talking about the physical attributes, okay?
Yes. Yes.
So both have the same goals because both are human beings and they have to strive for self realization to find who they really are. The goal for both is the same. Only their external characteristics are different because their desires are different.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, Arya.
Bharat. Oh, good. Oh, Bharat, I'm putting ideas in your head. No, no, not a good idea. Okay. Otherwise, your family will get on my case now. Wear this costume and be free of nagging questions. No, not, won't happen like that. Sorry. You tried it, but it won't happen like that. So, is this clear? Unswerving devotion to me by steadfast yoga. How many qualities do we have? Uh, unswerving. Unswerving means no other thought. Devotion means you care about it so much that you do not care about your own petty feelings and moods and all that sort of thing anymore. To me means to self-realization. By yoga means the actions involved, because this is where most of us fail. We don't want to do the actions. We love the thought, oh, we want self-realization. Yeah, काम करो. Work till it hurts you. Not that, oh, I'm working and I feel so nice. Not all this nonsense about how nice you feel. Work so much that when you put your head on the pillow at night, you're out like a light. You know what I mean? Like you're just so glad to be supine again. Work hard. And that hard work has to be
Single point.
Towards the goal.
consistent.
Okay.
Is to be consistent. So this is one of the qualities of a jnani. Unswerving devotion to me by steadfast yoga. That sounds so much better in Sanskrit. Maicha ananya yoga. Ananya yoga. No other thought. Bhakti avyabhicharini. Avyabhicharini means just won't move. Yoga means the joining to the self. The steadfast yoga means that it is consistent towards the goal. So you have to assume that you're going to do the work. Otherwise, what are you being so steadfast about? Mai cha ananya yoga. No other thought. Just think about it. When you have no other thought, how can you have any other action? All actions come from thought, right? So your thought and your actions are aligned consistently towards that goal. And you have just that one thought. Not like ye bhi chahiye, wo bhi chahiye. Mercedes chahiye kya? हाँ चलेगा, Mercedes भी दे दो. अच्छा अभी रेड कार्पेट पे जाना है क्या? हाँ वो भी चलेगा, दे दो एक. Not like that. That's why I love that sentence from Mother Teresa. You know, when there was all this huge excitement about man walked first step on the moon and all of that sort of thing. Huge excitement. Somebody, some reporter, because these reporters love to go and ask all sorts of questions. So some reporter went and asked Mother Teresa, "Would you like to go on the moon?" To which she said, "Yes, sure. If the poorest of the poor are there, I would go there to serve them." Ananya Yoga. She cannot think of anything else other than her goal. Will you do it? Yes, sure. If it takes me to my goal, I'll do it. And the rest of us will say, "Oh, how exciting or how frightening." See, our reactions are all to do with our emotions. Do I feel like it? Do I not feel like it? Does it sound exciting? Does it sound fearful? It has not got to do anything with our goal. Yeah, Momita.
But her goal would be self-realization.
That I don't know, but from her statement, her desire to help the poorest of the poor is obvious.
Right, but she's serving the poor on behalf of, because she feels that's the path to reaching God. Right? That's the assumption we are making. We could make.
We could make, but I'm not making an assumption. I'm just saying that look at the way she's looking at it. Whatever she's doing, is this doing that? If it is, to do it.
Right. But otherwise, in general, we should be willing to adapt based on our goal. Like, because the environment keeps changing.
Adapt based on our goal, meaning?
Like here, it looks like she's only stuck to serving the poor. This is the only thing that I will do. But in order to reach my goal, there could be different paths, and I should not be rigid about this is the only path. Whatever.
No, you should be rigid.
This is the only path.
Of course, for me, this is the only path. Suppose somebody tells Swamiji, okay, you're doing such good work in teaching Vedanta, now you start an orphanage. Will you do it? Or you start old age home, or you start whatever, animal welfare or nature conservation or something. No way. No achiever will ever do. You decide what you're doing and you go by that. That's it. Now, adaptability, flexibility is only with reference to, suppose I have decided that I am coming to your house and I'm coming to your house via the Santa Cruz Chamber Link Road. Okay, but that road is closing. So my adaptability is I'll go around Sandal. My adaptability is not to that I am going to your house.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. So if I am aiming for self-realization, then whether it is opening an orphanage or teaching.
No, that can't happen. It cannot change because your swadharma is something, your path is something. So these broad elements are not going to change. Like for instance, now we decided we start a Vedanta university. Now it's not going to change, right? And if it changes, it has changed for good. That means that whatever new thing is there will be there. And every 6 months, if we change like that, then there's something wrong with it. So there has to be some really good reason why you have changed something. Now, we as an institution have decided that for our Karma Yoga, building the university would be the most service we can do to humanity. We have to do some karma, so we'll do this one. This we've decided. Now, for us to change this, there must be something like pretty dramatic. But okay, let us say we do change it, then that will become the one thing. It doesn't change very much.
So it ties in with Swadharma in this.
Swadharma, path, everything.
Correct. Okay.
But now let us say, for argument's sake, that some terrorist bursts a nuclear bomb around here. Okay, and the whole world is dead. And only us class members are left. Then now we will not start the Vedanta University, right? So you see that flexibility is that, let's say this does happen, you don't sit down and cry, ki, oh my God, we cannot start the university. So you have that sort of flexibility. But not flexibility as in कि आज जी किया तो ये goal और जी किया तो वो goal. Most people do that. They're non-achievers because they don't stick to the field. People keep asking me that, I'm so good at what I do, then why am I not successful? And I hate to say that. I don't usually say these things because it's not my business, but the fact is, you're not sticking to one thing. One day it's X, one day it's Y, one day it's Z. So if you want 4 things, then those are the 4 things that you are doing consistently, which is always difficult for people because they don't have that kind of discipline. So today, आज ये अच्छा लगा, कल वो अच्छा लगा, कल आज इसके पीछे भाग रहे, कल उसके पीछे भाग रहे. That sort of thing. So flexibility is dicey to say.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Sarthak. Mind by nature has diverse vasanas. Ananya Bhakti towards sounds very idealistic. Don't know if it's practical. Is it? Same thing that Deepraj is saying. Whether it's practical or not is for you to say. But at least you have to understand the principle that the more focused I am on something, the more likely I am to achieve it. That is not understand. If you choose to say, no, I want to do different things, that's fine. I mean, nobody is telling you how you should run your life. But you must understand cause and effect relationships. Like if you wish to run behind multiple things, you'll be a jack of all trades and master of none. You may say, I like being jack of all trades. Okay, go right ahead. That's your call. But you must understand cause and effect relationship.
Ma'am, permission to speak. Ma'am, you once said that we don't give enough importance to self-realization. We don't understand the importance of achieving it. So basically, we have importance for quite a lot of things in our life that we'd like to have this because we give importance to that. And one of those 5, 6 things is self-realization. But the other 4 things are also something we give importance to in our mind. Now, intellect says, okay, self-realization is the most important goal, but the mind says, no, I want 5 things. These are 5 important things to me. Then, in this tussle, what should like one say? Should the intellect say, no, I have this goal, I should, and should it listen to the mind? What's the thing to be done here in this case?
You don't divide it like that. Don't say the mind is saying, intellect is saying, things like that. The personality, your personality is of a particular type, whatever type it is. Let us say that you are a Grihastha type of person. You require marriage. So if you require marriage, you require money. If you need marriage, you need money, then you need a house to keep your wife and children in. Okay, so you have a certain type of personality. Now, the only way for a person to reach self-realization is through their personality, not through something else. So you say, I want self-realization, but I want 4 other things. You have to connect those 4 other things to realization. Those are your path to realization. You say, I want to start a business, then that's wonderful. Please go ahead and start it. But you start the business for self-realization. You have heard this many times, Arthur, that first you must identify your swadharma. In your swadharma, you must place a goal. So your swadharma is, let's say, business. Then you place a goal. Okay, this is what my business is going to do. And why am I doing this whole thing? For the purpose of self-realization. Why am I not joining the army? Because that is not my personality. My personality is business. So I'm doing business. But what am I doing it for? For self-realization. Every one of us have to go through our personality. You cannot say my mind is saying this and throw it out of the window. Your mind is not like a detachable thing. Some of those bags have that detachable component. Even sometimes pants have detachable like, from the knee. You unzip it and you can throw it away. Your mind is not like you unzip the mind and you throw it away somewhere. It is you. You will have to go through all of this to reach self-realization. That is your path. Okay?
Yeah, clear.
Komal, mindset and requirement keeps changing, so the path changes, but destination is the same, so no harm in changing path. Mind keeps changing. It's not keeps changing. The mind stays the same. Bahushaka anantascha. Bahushaka hi anantascha. Bahushaka, many branched, ananta, infinite. It will constantly throw up stuff for you. It will tease you. It will drive you to suicide. And you are saying, oh, I will follow it. Then it will make you jump out of a cliff one day. You cannot afford to do it. You have to set your path, taking the requirements of the mind into consideration and follow that path. Just follow it. Put your nose down and follow it. Like the horse has blinkers. Every day, do you ask yourself, should I stay married to this person? Once you've gotten married, you are married now. You live there. Or if you decide, no, I don't want to, and you decide, take 6 months, you decide, you leave the person. But not every day, oh, I don't know whether I should be married to this person. This is the mind. There's no intellectual thing going on. So similarly, in any path, you marry something, marry some goal, whatever goal. Doesn't really matter what that goal is. What is important is you keep to it in a disciplined manner. So, no harm in changing path. There is no harm in the sense that nobody else will tell you. You just have to understand cause and effect relationships. You keep changing paths, you will not be an achiever. It is that simple. Now you
It's
say, I
not
want
that
to.
I keep changing. Sometimes situations change it and I adopt it accordingly. But my goal is the same.
No. I don't know what that means. That's a very dangerous way of doing things. Situations
Yeah.
change, so I change. So
No,
now,
not I change. My
okay,
path changes towards that.
so
But
okay. All right. Let us say I have decided my path is that I am going to teach Vedanta. 35 years have gone by. You think no situations have changed in my life? What situation changes doesn't mean path changes. Situation can change, keep on changing. So many different things have happened over 35 years. However, what I'm doing continues to be the same. Now, suppose something dramatic happens. I lose my voice. Now my path changes. Because now how can I take class? I can't speak only. Right? So the situations that demand for you to change your path are not that many. And they don't come that frequently. There's something pretty dramatic has to happen. Otherwise, whatever the situation, you think when what is his name, Dhirubhai Ambani went around setting up the Ambani empire, situation, circumstances didn't change, they kept changing. All along, it keeps changing. But you stick to what you're doing. So, shall we not change at all? No, there are occasions in which you change. But that's an exception. The rule is you stick to your path. Okay? I mean, the rule for achievement is you stick to your path. The rule, it's not a rule somebody's putting on you, you have to stick to a path. The rule for achievement or the principle for achievement is you have to stick to it. You may stick to it and not achieve. That is also possible. You will say 35 years you took class, so kya hua? That I will agree with you. Koi badi achievement nahi hui. But still, it's not necessary that if you stick to your path, you will achieve. If you don't stick to your path, you will not achieve. Is it about my ability to commit? Yes, Mamita. It's an ability to commit over long periods of time. Based on how strong the intellect is, you can make long-term commitments. If it is like some people can plan only for a week, Some people can plan for the year, some people can plan for 5 years, some for 10, some for 30. It depends on the quality of the intellect. So as much as we can do, we should do, and the quality of the intellect will improve.
So reaching that point where my word is my commitment, it means something. Like not all of us can assume to have it.
Of course, that is the intellectual strength. Who
Right.
does? I mean, to say Raghukula Brita Sada Chali Ai Prana Jai Para Vachana Na Jai.
Yeah. So that's a civilizational and a personal
Yeah, personal.
ideal, which we can't assume to have had till we are tested on it.
Yeah. So, I mean, we don't need to know whether we have it or not. We have to work in that direction. Forget about civilizational. Civilizational is the sum total of all us people. So, all of us are able to make commitments like that. That means that's the intellect. That means our civilization will be a great civilization. That's what we're trying when we try to set up a university. We're trying to lift the level, right? So you say I'm doing it, do it. I mean, not say to somebody else, to yourself. It's not a commitment you're making to someone else. And therefore, you have the flexibility to change it. But that flexibility is almost like you have your lakhs of rupees are in bonds, and 5 rupees you have put in shares. So you have some flexibility, but your lakhs are there. One bad example, but whatever. What I'm trying to say, a flexibility exists, but because it's your choice. But don't exert that. Otherwise, it can't be achieved.
It's about conscience also, right? I mean, if I cannot maintain my commitment, then somewhere I end up doubting myself also.
Yeah, so basically it's the same intellect. The stronger the intellect, the less all this thing is there. So intellectual strength is all it takes. Conscience doesn't make you do. Conscience only tells you. So intellect is what enables you to do. Stronger the intellect, the more discipline, more concentration, the more all the characteristics of better decision making, better understanding, better execution of action, consistency, all of this has to improve as the intellect improves.
Yeah. The subtle intellect is the conscience.
That's common to everybody. It's common and equal for everybody.
Thank you.
Sarthak, Nebul Komalji can't explain her question very well, speaking as a fellow student. Well, if she can't explain it, no doubt she will think about it and rephrase it and bring it back. All right, first, only one quality we've done so far. Second quality of last time's verse was Vivikta Desha Sevit and Arati Jana Sansati. So we had 3 qualities. Both the latter qualities talk about the capacity to be alone. In other words, self-sufficiency. It is not telling us to be alone, because you are not alone. Most people, they say, I don't like to be with people. Why? Because they're watching a screen. Is that self-sufficiency? I don't like to be alone. Why? Because I'm listening to music. Is that self-sufficiency? What is being alone is being alone. Your senses are not engaged. If your senses are engaged, you're not being alone. You're being with your senses. So we just take this as being in a solitary place means no humans. What do you mean no humans? Solitary means your senses are not engaged. Oh, I can live by myself. What are you doing? I'm eating whole day. And the reason I don't want anyone around is because they'll say, Kitna kha rahe ho? All that is not solitary. Solitary means that means self-sufficiency. You can simply be. That's it. You don't have to entertain yourself in any way, not even in your thoughts. You can just be. This is the quality of a jnani. Let's not misunderstand. Yes, Bharat?
How can senses ever be disengaged? You are hearing, seeing all the time.
Yeah, but you don't have to engage them all the time. In the sense, you can't say I'm alone and I just love listening to music. You're listening to music, so that's not called solitary. It's not like you have disengaged your senses and if there's a horn blowing, you can't hear it. Not like that. But you're not engaging the senses. You're not eating food or listening to music or watching a screen or any other stuff.
So
Okay.
if one is absorbed in a thought, maybe, so that would be an example of disengagement from the senses.
Yeah, maybe, but even being absorbed in thought is not solitary still. It is just better, but it is still not solitary because you are absorbed in thought. So there is you and the thought. Solitary means solitary.
So in other words, this is not possible for any of us because
Yeah.
we've ruled out all conditions.
Yes, it is the qualities of a jnani. So what we understand from it is that you are not dependent on your contacts, whatever contact you're not dependent on it. You're not dependent on somebody being there with you all the time or on your cell phone being with you all the time. Some people, they cannot leave the house and go without their cell phone. They just can't. I'm not talking about like there's a medical emergency going on and you have to take the phone because somebody may call you. No reason. You're going down to buy bread. It's going to take you 3 minutes. Can you go without your phone? Can't live without a phone. It's become like the fifth limb now. Do cell phone. I'm not suggesting you do it. I'm talking only about how, oh, my phone is not there, my phone is not there. Arey Baba, you used to live before also without people being able to contact you. In class, people want to check their phone. Okay, Meera, let's assume you're not purchasing anything. Can you leave your phone at home? Take cash with you and go for that one thing trip. Or anywhere you go for a walk, you carry your phone. But why are you carrying your phone to go for a walk? You go to the bathroom, you carry the phone. Now, why do you need it? 2 minutes you're going to be over there. Can you live without your phone for 2 minutes? So, I'm not suggesting that you do, please. Okay, this is no suggestions, no recommendations. Just making us understand the dependence that we have on things. The huge dependence that we have on things. So, what he's talking about here is non-dependence. You take my cell phone away, I'm fine. Oh my God, all my work will stop. Yes, it will. It's still fine. Oh my God, suppose my children can't reach me. No, they can't. What's that? They'll manage their own affairs. Even in class, I don't know how many of you, I can't see you. If it is a real world class, I think we should get to real world class at one point. At least out of sort of dekha-dekhi, people don't take out their phones. But here, God alone knows. 1 hour, can you not live without your phone? No, I have to check. My God, a message has come. Is there some emergency going on? Is there emergency not capable of waiting for 1 hour? No, I have to see my phone. Achievers are made like that. So the capacity to be independent of the things that you are using, enjoying, and are necessary. In today's world, the phone is necessary, right? Like Meera says, Google Pay. How do we pay for things? Often we need the phone, but do we need to be dependent upon it? So similarly, like that everything. So Vivikta Desha Sevitvam, resort to a solitary place. Arati Janasansadi. Arati, not reveling. Janasansadi. Janasansadi means in crowds. That doesn't mean that you dislike going to parties, you dislike being with people, you can't tolerate anyone in your house. To really know whether you're capable of solitude, you are the same regardless of whether people are there or not there. You're the same. Living on dependent. The other aspect of this is for those people who are self-motivated and self-driven, they do not need the agreement of other people. They absolutely don't need it. They will stand by their opinions regardless of whether other person agrees or disagrees. Like whatever you're doing, you have thought it through so much that unless somebody comes up with a much better idea, which you will then adopt, you're simply not affected by what they have to say. Okay, so that is verse 11. We will do the next quality next time. And that's it for today. And everybody, please wish us luck. We are all going off today to sign the